Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Welcome, everyone, to another amazing episode of Referrals Podcast. I am so excited about today's session. You are going to absolutely love this return guest, just like I do. And really, we have got to talk about prospecting. We've got to talk about lead generation. We've got to go back to the basics with all of this. Listen, we've got to prospect. We've got to generate leads. We've got to have conversations. We've got to get out there to people. But here's the thing, is a lot of times when people talk about prospecting and lead generation and marketing and things like that, they're talking about marketing to strangers, or they're talking about doing this lead generation where it's like, I don't know what to say, and I don't know who to call, and I don't know who to text. I don't know what to do. And man, I sure hope my monthly email newsletter gets me business. And then we talk about prospecting, and it's even worse, right? It's like cold calling. It's like door knocking. It's like interrupting people and disrupting and so on and so forth. And none of that sounds very fun. What if we could have fun lead generation? What if we could have fun prospecting? But let's not stop there. What if our lead generation could actually be fun, profitable, charitable, irresistible to the people, and referral generating? Like, what would you pay for a system, or what would you, like, are you not leaning in right now? Today, we are talking about fun, profitable. No, I'm not talking about like you're profiting from the leads or the referrals. You're profiting from doing the prospecting. Are you being paid to lead generate? Are you being paid to prospect? Today's guest is being paid to prospect. He is being paid to lead generate. Are you leaning in? It gets better. He's being paid to be charitable. He's being paid to generate referrals. That is an amazing combination, and that's what we're going to dive deep into today. I cannot wait to get into this today. The thing is, I have to give a shout out right out of the gate, and I don't even know who this is. So, Listing Boss Lady, I love you. 5-star review. Referrals Podcast absolutely changed how I approach business and self-promotion. I love how it made me change. It will strengthen your relationships and help you prioritize your activities like it did me. I have realized that personal connections are everything, not only in business, but also in life. Wow, can you make your life better by doing real estate? It's made my life better. Love that. Listing Boss Lady, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And then here's the thing, is right off the bat, I'm going to encourage you that you've tuned in today. We have a community of people who refer each other. We have a global referral network called the Generosity Generation. We would love for you to join us. It is free to join. You do have to answer 3 or 4 questions, and then you join. It's joingengen.com. We have the 3 or 4 questions to make sure you're not a bot. There are no bots in GenGen. It is just great people. In fact, I truly believe the best people on the planet are in the Generosity Generation. It is at joingengen.com. Please do yourself a favor. Go join it. Like I said, it's free, and you should make it happen. And who knows, you might get a referral like this guy. So today I am super excited to welcome my friend Jamie Yezarski to the show. Now, he has been here, but it was like 200 episodes before. And for those of you that don't know Jamie is a longtime real estate professional with Keller Williams in New Bern, North Carolina, with nearly 2 decades of experience helping buyers and sellers throughout this entire area. But today, interestingly enough, we're not here to just talk about houses or real estate. We're here because Jamie recently hosted an event that got some pretty incredible results. And when I heard what happened, I absolutely knew that we needed to bring him on to the show and unpack exactly how he did it. And I'm not going to bury the lead here. Ladies and gentlemen, he got 21 real estate leads and referrals, and he got 18 referrals to potential sponsor partners for his next event from this event. And that's not all. That's not all. Like he got a lot of other great stuff with this too. So without further ado, let's welcome back Jamie Yezarski to Referrals Podcast.
Hey, Michael, thanks for having me.
Always great to have you. Kudos and congrats on this event. And I love the time frame of when we're talking to you. We're exactly 30 days after the event. So a lot of times people think that, oh, they have an event, the next day they crash, and then the next day life hits them right square in the face and they just go about and do a bunch of other stuff. So I love that we're in that 30-day window after your event. But I want to start with you a little bit is just give us a quick introduction to you and your real estate business in New Bern and talk about like how you got into this great business and like what is your business like in New Bern, North Carolina?
Well, I actually got into it directly after college for me because I didn't know what else to do, and I had a friend who had started a small real estate firm, so I went to work with him. He became the broad listing broker for HUD for the whole state of North Carolina. So I spent
Hmm.
2 years just really working foreclosures without really doing many residential sales. Then I changed over and went to the residential side. Spent a couple years with, at the time, the biggest company here in New Bern, and then I um, had the genius idea of opening my own small firm, and that went pretty well. Uh, I managed to, luckily, and just pure luck, coincidence, close the doors, settle everything on that business just before the crash of '08, and joined Keller Williams, which was perfect timing. Not sure how I got that right, but it worked out. And I would say from '08, it was about 2016 would be my best guess. I was pretty burnt out and tired of chasing leads and strangers, and internet lead was everything then. And I came across your Accelerate, if I'm not mistaken, and that was my
Wow.
introduction to the world of Michael Maher.
Wow. So 10 years. You've been with us 10 years. I have to ask you a question that sometimes I just don't go into on Referrals podcast, but this has been something that's very eye-opening to me lately is that the people that tend to do the best with what we do are people that are usually associated with athletics or military. Like I have just these tremendous coaching clients and the people in RMA, and it's like they're they have some past sports history or they have a past military history. And Jamie, it was like 65% of our RMA members. Like it's a high, and by the way, the top 65%. So you're into wrestling, right? What do you do with wrestling now? What's your passion with that?
Well, I wrestled for the legendary Tom Marsh when I was in high school here at New Bern High School, and a little bit in college, a couple of years of college wrestling, and maybe got away from the sport for just a year or two, but I've always been involved. I currently have a club here in New Bern, founded in 2011, the Wrestling Warehouse, and this will be my fifth year coaching at the middle school, which is the most fun I've ever had coaching. So um, if I won the lottery, I'd sell a little bit of real estate on the side, but wrestling is where I find a lot of joy.
Yeah, so football's the same way for me, right? And it's just like, what do you think it is about athletics that maybe prepares us to be better in the game of life?
I mean, I think it's all the classic lessons of goal setting, organization, commitment, execution. But the reality of it in the sport is it's reinforced instantly daily. It's not this
Yeah.
drawn out lesson or program you're trying to learn. You're hearing these things, and then you're faced with them every practice, every competition. So I mean, it's just the best. There's nothing like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think there's something about resilience too, right? It's just like you're taught to get through and go through. I also think that
Attitude.
yeah, and have the right attitude. We also understand the value of coaching, right? There's a lot of people in life that never learn to listen to another. Like every idea has to be theirs to implement and put into play. But I mean, it's like I just think about the ones that have had success is oh my gosh, who I'll have to think about it. But we literally had a lady who literally just did every single point of the checklist of event mastery, did her first event, had a tremendous event. And it's like she just did it, right? And so many of us, we want to get creative. We want to, or we want it to be ours or whatever it is.
Or
And it's just
perfect.
like, yeah. And it's just I think coachability has something to do with it too. Is just like, all right, I can follow the lead of, I can run the play. And when I run the play, I'll do it as well as I can, right? I mean, the single leg takedown, right? It's like it's something to learn. And guess what? You can go a long way with just knowing the single leg takedown, right? In wrestling.
Fundamentals, mastery,
Yeah.
repetition.
Sweep the leg, man. Sweep the leg. Okay. So, uh, I love it. All right. So I want to really get hyper focused on one specific thing that you did for prospecting and lead generation, on July 8th, right? You didn't do it just on July 8th, but you did it the 8 weeks before that up to July 8th. And then over the last exact 30 days, we're going to talk about what you did to follow up from that. So you did an event. Now, how many events have you done total?
I think this was probably the sixth or seventh event that I've done. Um,
All through event mastery
all through event
or
mastery.
okay.
It's funny. I talked about accelerate and coming across your programs at the time when I was burnt out was just a lifesaver for me because you were just talking my language. It just made sense. And being an introvert, I was much more comfortable having conversations with people that I know and love instead of having conversations with strangers. Um, but I do remember even when you started making the move to events away from maybe the activities and challenges we were doing in Accelerate. Uh, I didn't play along to start with. I don't want to host an event. I don't want to have a housewarming party. I don't want to talk to that many people. And so I was a slow adapter for sure.
Well, but like you said in the very beginning, like when we were in the pre-show, I was like, if you had to boil down, what did this event reveal to you? You said do it. You said do it now. You said implement, go, do it. Like just do it and just follow the system. And sometimes it takes a while for us to get there, to get to do that. I mean, we all have many, many examples of that in our life. So, all right. So I think the first thing is tell me about your thinking about doing an event on July 8th. Like this is probably March, April, maybe even January. Tell us when you first started thinking about doing an event July 8th.
Well, I think I probably started worrying about it very early in the year, knowing I needed to get prepared. And again, that's where that just do it now just comes into. So, all the worry and the stress about getting it perfect, it really doesn't matter. You just got to take action and good
Yeah.
things will happen. If I'm being honest, what should have been an 8 week lead up for this event was probably a 4 week lead up. So everything was compressed a little bit. Um, and, still got amazing results, even though I didn't follow the book to a T.
Yeah. So so what event did you do? Like what's the title of your event and what was the general idea of the event?
So we do a gratitude and gravy every year, where we just obviously we give back to our clients and our community at a local sandwich shop. It's been a part of New Bern's history for over 5 decades now. Very local owners, very community involved, and it's just a place I'm very comfortable, if I'm being honest. So
Mhm.
that was a big factor in choosing that venue as well.
Is this sandwich shop your home court advantage?
It probably is. I remember I tried to pick a more upscale place for my home court advantage. and it just didn't stick. I found myself every
Yeah.
day at the sandwich shop. So that's what it is for sure.
I have to tell you, that's the funniest thing ever because I did the same thing. There is a upper scale restaurant in Kansas City, and it's like, all right, if I want to be associated with this place, right? And it just never felt comfortable. It just never felt comfortable. And then when I found EBT, it was like, oh my gosh, like this is so me. And so it is interesting that you just end up finding a dining room and a living room that feels right, as long as you understand the concept of a home court advantage. So, all right, so we're doing this at a sandwich shop. We're doing gratitude and gravy. Absolutely love that title. Love that you're doing this. So, talk about the planning around your event. Like, what did you pour into the planning? The nice thing is you already had the venue. So you've kind of got that checkbox checked, and you already reserved the restaurant, so you're good to go. Tell me more about the planning of the event that you did.
So the venue set, I go about reaching out to sponsors or partners to be involved with me. I was fortunate enough, our local lender that supports me here made a pretty significant contribution, almost funded the whole event just with the lender. And then I had three other kind of local small businesses that contributed a much smaller amount, and that kind of put me over the top. The whole thing was covered. Um,
How's
we
that feel? How's it feel that you made a profit throwing an event that led to 21 referrals?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to
It's
think,
not crazy, but it's pretty
um,
damn awesome,
how
right?
much would someone pay for 21 leads, strong,
Yeah,
warm
yeah,
leads like that? I mean, it's worth
yeah,
so much money.
yeah. So, okay. So let me ask you that. What day of the week was it?
I think it was on a Wednesday this week.
Whoa. Wednesday event, right? So what made you decide to do, I mean, a Wednesday, not a Saturday, not a Sunday, a Wednesday. What time did you do it?
We do 5 to 7. I think
Okay.
originally I tried to get a certain date at an earlier event with this venue, and it didn't work out. The only thing I could get was 4th of July week. And so I
Hmm.
just took it, and it just went so well that I stuck with it. And so we just do it shortly after 4th of July. And there's a few people that are traveling and don't make it. But again, just doing it, taking action, and I don't know how it could be any better.
Well, I have to tell you, like, this is amazing because I think 90 to 99% of all people would have just said, I'm not doing it because it's July 8th. It's the week of July 4th. People are going to be on vacation. I have, I can't, I doubt, all these reasons not to do it. And you decided to do it. You're just like, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway and see what happens. And if nothing else, I get to have those conversations with the people that are on vacation, and it doesn't cost me a dime because they're out of town. I've said for years on Event Mastery, sometimes I think the best person in the world is a non-attendee who you get to communicate with the entire process, but they don't cost you a dime because they don't come to the event and eat the food and drink the drink and get all the prizes, right? So
Yeah,
it's like they're free, but you get all the communication. And sometimes they even refer you out of guilt. Not that you're making them feel guilty, but they're like, "Oh my God, like he's so nice about this. He's so good about this." It's like I need to repay him. And not that we need to be repaid, but sometimes they think that way.
that actually
So,
happened this year. I did receive a referral from someone who could not make the event.
I mean, drop the mic, right? It's like, where do we go from there? All right. So we've got Wednesday, 5 to 7 p.m., a definitely non-traditional day, non-traditional time, midweek, the week after July 4th. All right. So under planning, were there any things that you were worried about when it came to planning the event?
All the normal worries, but I tell you, it's such a great place when you get to the point where you just go, look, I'm going to execute this event. And if 3 people show up, we're going to have a blast. And if 300 people show up, it's going to be bananas and we don't know what we're going to do. But I'm just going to enjoy it and do the event the best I can. I'm going to have some good food with some good friends, and we're going to have some cool prizes. And so that just, you can't fake that. But once you actually get to that point of going, we're just going to do this and it's going to work out fine. It takes a lot of the stress away.
Yeah, you hit on one of the big things I think is truly one of the ingredients for successful people. It is commitment. I remember being so nervous asking my wife to marry me. Like, I don't get nervous in life hardly ever. Like, I don't get nervous before I speak on stage. A lot of people get really nervous. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. But I was really nervous because I knew like I'm not getting a divorce. When I make a commitment, like I make a commitment. When I said I'm going to do an event, I'm going to do an event. We had two referral mastery summits where we're doing an event, and then a hurricane came in, right? Wiped out Orlando and wiped out the event. But we're like, no, I'm going to do it anyway. No matter if three people show up, three people show up. Well, we ended up having more people. And then we're like, we are not going to have an event affected by a hurricane. We're going to do an event in Atlanta, Jamie. I mean, there's no way a hurricane is going to get so far inland to affect Atlanta. You know what happened? Like this is literally just 2 years later. We had a hurricane hit Atlanta, and we had to move our event. And so it's one of those where it's like, but we were committed, and I think that's a big part of it. Is like once you're not in a three, you're not in at a five, you're in at a 10, and it's like we're just going to go full bore on this.
I think it comes
So
back, like you said, to athletics. I mean, once you make a
yeah.
decision, you don't have to debate that decision over and over again. You've already made that call and we're moving forward.
Yeah, once you commit to a single leg takedown, like if you go 80%,
You
you're not
can't
going
go
to get it,
halfway on a
right?
takedown.
You got to go 100, 110%, right?
That's right.
So same type of thought. And now, did the compressed time frame affect your planning at all? Do you feel like something was left out of your planning? Or now you've done an event like this before, so the compressed time frame maybe you were just like, no, it just made me energized for 4 weeks.
I think it just condensed everything down.
Yeah.
I didn't really have any issue with it. Now, if I would have tried to pull that off 6 events ago, it would have been a stressful mess and possibly a nightmare.
Yeah.
I just focused on what I can do instead of what I can't do. I can make phone calls, I can send text messages, I can send follow-ups and thank yous, and I'll get done what I can, and we'll be happy with that.
So it did affect it a little bit, and that kind of transitions us into invitations. Is that if you have more time, we can do a digital invitation. We can do some emails. We can do some social media and Facebook posts. But like you just said, I could feel it, the urgency in your voice is you're like, no, I'm going to focus on putting my time in the influential zone. Phone calls, text messages,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. So tell us about the invitation process. How did you invite people to the gratitude and gravy?
Well, I started with a phone call. And if I didn't get them, I would leave a voicemail. I would follow up with a text either way, whether I spoke to them or not. And then I used Punchbowl, which is super
Okay.
basic. I've used it at every event. And so I just stick with it. And then they send out a text message and or an email. And of course, whether I get an RSVP or no response, I get a chance to share that again, that same invitation. I get a chance to follow up with a phone call that I haven't gotten a response. I get another chance for another text message. And that was basically it. Invite, follow up with the people that didn't respond, send out reminders right before the event, which I would do mostly in text messages, just for sake of time. But I would do individual. It wasn't a group text.
Yeah.
And then, for uh, the people that it's easiest to call, right? The people I'm closest with, those are the first ones I call.
So what does that do for you? So what does that do for you to call the friendlies first instead of maybe trying to go through the A's, the B's, the C's, the D's, or whatever it
Just
may
gets
be?
you into action, and it gets the momentum going. It gets your energy up. I mean, you're calling somebody that's going to love and support you no matter what, right? They're not going to
Yeah.
bash on you, even if you're bothering them or catch them at the wrong time. And so
Yeah.
it's easy to continue from there and make some of the, I wouldn't say tougher phone calls, but
Yeah. Yeah. You got momentum, right?
yeah.
I mean, it's one of those where, you know, this entire system, the referral mastery system, is based on conquering two fears. It's the fear of failure and and the fear of rejection. So if we call the people that love us and trust us and like us and respect us and are going to actually answer the phone, then like we're not going to get rejected. Like when they say no, they say it really nicely. If they say maybe or yes, then you're like you've got this momentum on it and that kind of thing. And you might get feedback too. You just never know. But it is one of those where like if anybody that's listening to this is ever like if you have a fear of failure or you have a fear of rejection, then check out what we're doing because the entire thing, all of what I've done is how do I get to the point where there is no failure? I'm going to be a success. It's going to be a success. And then like fear of rejection, like everything we do, you're not going to get rejected. You're
Yeah.
not going to get hung up on, and you're not going to hear like "No way, Jose" or "What the heck are you doing" or anything else that's super divisive.
I mean, you could call this event a failure if you like. I didn't use the entire time frame. I didn't take every step of the invitation. I didn't take every step of the implementation. I didn't take every step of the follow up. I'm still following up.
Hmm.
And I got 21 referrals and 18 partner referrals and had a great time and it was all paid for. So
Yeah.
that's an awesome failure.
Yeah, let's go with awesome failures. I love that. So, all right, let's talk about sponsors. How many sponsors did you have, and how did you get them?
I had four sponsors. Again, one is my primary lender here, who's always super supportive. Um, he paid for 75% of the event. And then I had a couple repeat partners from last year, uh, local chiropractor, local massage therapist, that type of thing. And then I just
Mhm.
reached out to an old friend, a guy that I coached years ago in high school who's got a local power washing business, and he was super excited. He'd been invited in years past, but I had never asked him to be a partner, so he didn't even hesitate. And I'm just talking about a couple $100 at a time.
I love that. I love it because, first of all, it's not the necessarily the normal sponsors. And here's also something I'm finding about events is there are no such thing as normal sponsors. For me, normal sponsors were the real estate ancillaries, right? It's inspection and lender and warranty and so on. And you said massage therapist
Yeah.
and chiropractor, which by the way, they should probably know each other, right? And
Our home
then
inspector was a partner and was very supportive. I don't want to leave them out.
yeah. And
These are
then
all people that I consider friends. Those are also people to be the first people I would call, who are going to support whatever I'm doing. So very easy ask.
yeah, love that. And then here's the thing. I get these text messages about power washers all the time. We're power washing in your area. Would you like us to? And by the way, they're not in my area. They're talking about Kansas, and I'm actually in Atlanta, Georgia. But and then in Facebook groups, there is this thing where like anybody says anything, some power washer posts that they could power wash. And like that can't be working. Well, guess what? This is like you had a power washer sponsor your event and it's probably working for them. Instead of them
100%.
trying to go down, I don't know who's teaching that cold, interruptive, disruptive way. But this person is getting business in a far better way. So love that. All right. So did you have a charity involved with this?
We
It's
did. We've
Gratitude and
partnered
Gravy,
a
right?
few years in a row now. We've partnered with Feed Crave, and in the past I've worked with the women's shelter. I think I did pet shelter. But we've kind of stuck with Feed Craven, number one, because it's so much fun. So Feed Craven feeds about 250 families a month here locally in Craven County, which is about 100,000 people. Just a no strings attached food drive, basically. And so what we do is we kind of have a Christmas in July toy drive. So
Oh
at
my
their
gosh.
at their
Love it.
December feeding or December food distribution, they have Santa Claus and they're giving out toys to all these kids, and I get to go over there and be a part of that. And I mean, what's more fun than going to the store and buying toys for kids? You know,
Nothing. How many toys did you fill? How many toys did you get?
we filled a truck. That was my only one of my only concerns you asked earlier this year. condensed time frame. My numbers were probably 70% of what they've been in the past. I was worried that we wouldn't have enough toys, but man, we
Mhm.
killed it. I had one big supporter and friend who must have just broke the bank and just came through for these kids. But everybody's excited to buy a bunch of toys for kids,
Yeah,
myself
I
included.
love it. And you know what I love the most about it is that you followed I think the secret sauce of the charity aspect of the event mastery system is to have them bring something. Don't have them bring a check. Don't have them bring cash. Don't have them donate money. It really is the best bang for the buck is to have them bring a backpack for back to school. Have them bring a toy. Have them bring like a canned good. Have them bring pet supplies, have them bring diapers, have it like I just truly believe that having them bring something feels far more significant, especially in today's age where there's been some issues with management of funds at charities. They just know their toy is going to a kid because the adult is not going to open the toy and keep it, right? It's just, I love that.
The
Love that.
energy. The
Yeah.
energy's
Yeah.
great.
And then you see a truckload of toys and you take a picture of it and it's like, look what we did. Like the collective power of that is
Yeah, that's my favorite
mind-boggling.
part by
Yeah, it
far.
is. Me too. Me too. So, all right. So talking about confirmations, you said that you had text, you used Punchbowl that also sent the reminder text and emails. How many did you have RSVP and then how many did you have attend?
I had about less than 50 RSVP and we had about 40 attend. And typically we have about 80 RSVP and about 60 attend.
Yep. So a summer event. Summer events typically get a little bit lower attendance, sometimes better attendance, but all
And we
right.
invite about 100 people. So it's
Okay.
not a huge event even if everybody came.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean 50% attendance rate is really good, just so you know. All right. So the event. So what was the event like? If I were one of your friends who was gonna come to this event, what would be my experience once I pulled it? What's the name of the sandwich shop?
Ghent Sandwich Shop.
How you spell that?
Ghent.
Ghent?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when I pulled into Ghent shop, what is my experience? What do I start to see? What do I start to feel and hear and that kind of thing?
Well, I've got to thank a friend for helping me decorate this year. Really, the first year, again, you're just talking to an introverted high D here, so balloons and decorations really almost didn't occur to me. So we did decorate up a little bit this year, and it added to the fun and the energy for sure. But when you
Who
walk in
was
the
it? Let's
door,
give a shout out. Let's give a shout out.
shout out to Sheila.
Okay. All right. Very
So
good.
when you show
All
up,
right, hold a second. I got to start there. I got to start. Okay. So, first of all, I am a high D, very introverted, and I'm very Spartan and frugal, right?
oh,
So like if
you'll
I
love
had
this. You'll love this,
that's
then.
why, yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
So we went out to the dollar stores after the 4th of July and we bought everything red, white, and blue for pennies on the dollar.
I love it. So was it Sheila? Is that her name?
Yes,
Was it Sheila's idea?
it was.
And then she decorated. So who is Sheila?
Friend.
All right. So here's what's amazing about this, right? Is that did you pay Sheila?
No.
Sheila wanted to contribute. She wanted to help. She volunteered her expertise, her time, her maybe even a little bit of money, her creativity, and her experience with events to this event, right? She volunteered it, yes?
Yes,
Was she upset she wasn't paid?
not at all.
Was she ecstatic when you said, "Hey, everybody at the event, I just want you to know, can we give Sheila a big round of applause for the great decor?" And everybody goes, "Yeah," right? And
Yeah.
like, and she didn't even need that.
I'm going to be in
She didn't
trouble
even,
because she didn't even get that. I didn't even get that.
yeah, right. I mean, but she's getting it now.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where I think that there is the biggest point ever is I always say in event mastery, the who is not you. The who is not you. Who is someone who can help you? with many different things. You can have somebody help you with the finance. You can have somebody help you with the decoration, help you with the management, help you with the RSVPs, help you with the invitations, help like, and all of them could be free. And they want to contribute. They want to belong. They want to be a part of the team, and they're having fun doing it. And in fact, if you paid them, it would lessen the effect. It would lessen the feeling they get from doing
For
that
giving.
thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
So we kind of glossed over that, but honestly, I think that's one of the best things about events is that getting that community contribution. So anyway, so all right, so as I pull into Ghent and I'm getting ready to go in, what do I experience?
So you walk in the door, you're greeted by a young man who I coached in wrestling, and he's there to give back as well, happy to help. And he's gonna,
Mhm.
you know, thank you for coming. We're so glad to see you. Please head over to our registration table. As they walk through the foyer into our registration table, my admin assistant was manning that table. She's gonna hand him our door prize registration form. Here you go. Fill these out completely. Your server will pick them up when she takes your order. Thank you for the donation. She'll take the toy, put it behind her in a big pile of toys. We might get a picture there if we have a moment. And then they're seated. Uh, the waitress will come over and take their order, and it's all hot hamburger plates and tea. So it's a simple order. How do you like your hot hamburger plate? She collects the door prize registration form with the order, drops it in the drawing box, and we're off.
What do you do?
I go around and talk to people and spend time visiting. And it's interesting. That's probably the biggest thing through the years. Every event, I'm less involved than I was at the previous event. The first one I did, I remember, man, it was crazy, and I did not expect that many people to show up. I got a ton of referrals, but the crazy part was I was running around the place like manic, and I just remember
Mhm.
being exhausted. I couldn't remember speaking to anybody. I don't know who if I failed to speak to someone because I just couldn't remember anything. It was crazy,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so now that's all I do is just hang out and eat and visit.
yeah. Yeah, I see the difference here is at the first one, you were the lead guitarist doing everything like Van Halen and Jump, right? Where he's jumping and going, it's all over the place and it's crazy. It sounds great and it went great, but man, you were sweating and so tired and so much energy was expended that you were just dead for weeks. Versus now, I see the image of an orchestra conductor like just managing and the music is still beautiful, maybe even more beautiful, but the energy you're expending is just more in loving on the people than it is, than it is in trying to play the guitar or chasing or
It's
running or
interesting
whatever
you
it may
say
be.
that because I do love the events. I would have consistently said that they are draining. They do drain me, but not so much now that I'm not playing all the instruments.
Yeah, love that. All right. So love the event. Love that you went through. It was 5 to 7. At what point did you do the door prizes?
So I switched it up this year. In the past, we did our big prize at the end.
Mhm.
Well, most people are coming and going and they're eating and they're passing through. Some people are hanging out for hours. Some people are grabbing something to go. And so very rarely was the person who won still present. So this year, instead of having one big prize, I gave away a Bluetooth speaker that floats
Love it.
every 30 minutes. So every 30
Okay.
minutes, we had a drawing, and I got a chance to thank everybody who helped me briefly. I didn't do a whole lot of talking. And we would have a drawing. So we did one 5:36, 6:30, and 7. I think I gave away, a Bluetooth speaker. And I always so do a small gift for the kids. So when you sit down with kids, you get a kids registration form. And we
Love
give
it.
them Pelican Bucks, which is a local ice cream shop.
Love it. What a fun event. What a fun event. All right. And so you said that you profited. So I'm going kind of that next step. All right. the event's over and we start checking our results. Most people think the event is the result. I had an event, shoo, it's over with. Thank God. We had a fun. Nobody got hurt. Man, I contributed to the community by having this. They call them client events incorrectly. This, all that stuff. And so now talk to me about like the event's over. You check your numbers. Did you get a ROI, right? Direct ROI of holding the or hosting the event.
Dollar amount,
Yeah.
I think the whole event cost me less than $1,000, and I collected 1450.
Okay. All right. So we would consider that infinite return, right? I mean, just because you really made more than you invested. So that's a good day. Okay. And then talk about referrals.
21 referrals, 18 partner referrals. Um, Again, with 60%, 70% of the turnout that we normally get, half the time in the invitation process. I mean, it's just incredible to me how powerful this system is, that you could do it. Hey, I did it at a mediocre level this year and I got 21 referrals. I mean, what else can you say about that?
Well, I think one thing that we need to note is this isn't your first event. So your attendance was mediocre. It doesn't describe this, but you're right. This is a system that you can run at a 5 level and still have success with it, right? Because it's based on the fear of failure. So we're going to have success if we do it at a 1 level, getting people together, right? But the one thing that I want you to know is I want everybody to listen to this. You're listening or you're watching on YouTube. I really want you to note this is that this is his fifth or sixth event. So his community of influence, right? Let's get away from circle of influence, sphere of influence. Let's tell it how what it should be. It should be a community of influence. You should be influential over a community. They have been trained in a good way to come to this event, if not consciously, subconsciously thinking about referrals. Not only referrals for Jamie, but also referrals for his partners. They're coming. They're like coming to this event. They understand a part of the process is thinking about referrals. So I think that's a big part of this is that like you're starting to see the effects of your community being trained on the fact that referrals are the currency of your community ecosystem, right? It's not money, it's referrals being exchanged that are the important thing. I mean, 21 and 18 I mean, out of 40 people, come on. That's a tremendous type of return and a tremendous type, but it doesn't happen at many first events. This is a third, fourth, fifth event type of effect. And your next event is going to get even more because now you've got this you've kind of created this collective consciousness within your community of influence that it's a referral exchange. Like, and it wouldn't surprise me if you start getting more calls on people saying, "Hey, listen, do you have a roofer?" Or, "Hey, do you have a person that can help me with my deck?" Or whatever. And it might be time for you to start a Facebook group for your community of influence because things are going to start ping ponging. The dots are starting to connect. And that's a big part of this process. I absolutely love this. So, were your sponsor partners happy when you delivered leads and referrals to them?
I don't even think they had any expectation. So they were over the moon. They would have written me a small check anyway just to support. So
Yeah. Who got the most?
um probably probably the lender. A lot
Oh
of
my goodness, that's
handyman,
fantastic.
a lot of
Yep.
handyman
Yep.
requests.
Yep.
Even had a couple. I have a great car salesman that I know and trust. I had a
Oh,
couple
that's good to
people
hear.
looking for new and used vehicles. So again, obviously not related to real estate in any way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Love that. All right. What else have you done as part of the follow-up? So we're 30 days after, right? So give me what you've done as far as follow-up, and then let's talk real dollar, right? How many of those referrals turned into like real clients?
Again, I've done an average job on my follow-up. I've started with the people that I was the most comfortable with of everybody, called them, thanked them for the referral that they gave me, asked a few questions about the person they were referring to me, and then followed up with that individual. And I've probably only done that with about half of what I have so far. So I've got at least that many more to follow up. I've got
Are you telling me that you have a referral follow-up problem? That you have more referrals than you have time to follow up with right now?
that is my problem right now. I have more
That,
referrals than I have
God
time to
bless
follow up.
America, right? It's
Yeah.
like that's the greatest problem in the history of the world. So,
It's crazy to
uh,
think about that. I mean, again, I don't know anything else that you can even pay for that can give you that type of problem.
well, all right. So, real deal now. Do you have any buyers and sellers or closings? I mean, probably no closings, but
No closings. I have two listings. I have one buyer that I'm working with, and I have one outgoing referral to the DC area that all came from this event and this follow
yeah,
up.
just so far,
Yeah,
right? Just
I'm
so
about
far.
halfway through.
Yeah, we're talking 10 referral sources, and you've already got four pieces of business that's coming out of that. So, and that doesn't mean the other six aren't going to turn into anything. It just means they're not ready now. So, you're making people raise their hand, and you're making people, raise other people's hands that are looking to make some type of move in the future. So, amazing, amazing. So, I guess for agents and honestly any entrepreneur, a roofer could do what you're doing. A financial planner, an attorney could do what you're doing. It doesn't take a real estate agent to run an event. It really doesn't. It just so happens a majority of our community is realtors because that's the world I came from. But for those that are listening who want to create an event like this, what would you tell them to do? And let me ask you this first. What would you tell them not to do? If somebody wanted to do an event like this, what would you tell them not to do?
Don't try and do it on your own. Don't try and figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
You've already figured it out. Don't try and implement it on your own. Get your friends and family to help you, if nothing else. Um, and just do it. Do it now.
Yeah. So what you would tell them to do is just do it now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was there a surprise about the event? Was there something that happened as a result of this event that was just like a cool story? Or, I mean, other than filling a freaking truck with toys, I didn't know that was coming. That was a surprise for me. That was awesome. But was there any other surprise or interesting thing that happened within the scope of the event that was pretty cool for you?
The toys are definitely the coolest part. I mean, I could do that every month. I mean, it's just so fun to shop for toys and to see that big truckload of toys go out there. Um, the other part that kind of surprises me every time, because there's a little bit of dread involved when you're starting something like this and you're making a big commitment, uh, is how much I enjoy it. If you would have asked me, would you enjoy hosting an event? I would have said, are you out of your mind? I don't even
As a
like
high D
talking to people.
introvert,
Yeah, I don't want, I don't want to host an
yeah,
event.
I don't have time for people. What?
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, what a fun way to conduct business.
Well, I'm gonna throw something out as a high D introvert as well. Is that and this isn't an observation I made. It was something that people told me. Is that I tend to be, and you're probably the same way, like nose to the grindstone, very intense, very serious, very businesslike. And guess what? That makes me really good at real estate because we're gonna win. Right? My clients are gonna win. They're gonna win one way or another, and I'm gonna think about them all the time until we win. But that also can make us unapproachable in our community because we don't see the community. We're focused, laser focused on
Path.
our 50, 75 clients, right, and our path. And the thing that people told me And I remember Denise Mills, by the way, shout out to Denise Mills in Kansas City. She said, Michael, like, I'm so glad you do these events because I see another side of you. I see this friendly, social, it makes you so much approachable, so much more approachable because you do these events. Like people see you in a different, I saw you in a different light. That's what Denise said. And I think that's what you're experiencing too, is people
Yeah,
are seeing you in a different light because of the events. Would you agree with that?
I think that's 100% true. I would never spend 2 hours just making small talk
Yeah.
and visiting. I just wouldn't take the time to do that. So this puts
Yeah.
me in that position. And, you know, maybe we don't love small talk, but I think we love conversations with people that we love and care about.
Yeah. 100%. Well, Jamie, this has been fantastic. It's great to have you on. It took us 200 episodes to get you back on. I don't know why it took us that long, but I just really appreciate where your heart is and the fact that there are so many different ways and different things that are being shouted, especially to real estate agents right now. And you chose this path and you chose this thing to do. And I know that I'm speaking for the listeners and the viewers today, is that, man, just thank you so much for coming on here and sharing what you implemented, how you implemented, and what someone could do and get from doing events like this. I just want to say thank you again for being our guest here on Referrals Podcast.
Thanks for having me. And I just want to add, you touched on it before. It's amazing to me how many different people or professions this system would work for. I think about it all the time when I'm getting my hair cut. This hairdresser should implement the event mastery system. This car salesman should implement event mastery system. This roofer, this landscaper. So I mean, it's just amazing. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you for implementing. What the finest compliment to an author or a trainer or a teacher is implementation. And you gave me the biggest compliment ever in doing it and having it work for you. So that's what's awesome about all this. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, today was a mastery class on events. Today was this is the one, and I have to tell you, as he was going through there were nuggets he gave that I didn't have time to highlight. You're going to need to listen to this again. Don't skip to the next podcast, not even the next Referrals podcast episode. I want you to start over. I want you to go back to the beginning of this, and I want you to listen to the nuances. Listen to the little things that he did right in what he calls a mediocre event that generated 21 pieces of real estate business and 18 referrals for his sponsor partner. So I want you to go back through and just listen again because you're going to get the nuggets out of it. And then also, if you're newer or somebody that has been considering joining what we're doing, join the Referral Mastery Academy. Go to referralmasteryacademy.com. And here's what I want you to know. Event Mastery coming up in October and November is part of Referral Mastery Academy. So for just $99 a month, you have the ability to run and generate your own referrals through Referral Mastery Academy and Event Mastery. So not only is Event Mastery part of it, Networking Mastery is a part of it, which is going to help you grow your community of referral sources and ambassadors. So check it out at referralmasteryacademy.com. That's referralmasteryacademy.com. And guess what? When you do it, you're going to learn how to have fun, profitable, charitable, irresistible referral generating events. We'd love to help you do it. I'll see you in referralmasteryacademy.com, and I'll see you next time on Referrals Podcast. I love you. I appreciate you. Have a great day.